Today is Thursday, September 4th. We are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-057, parcel number 47037-1616770021, represented by Oliver, Brian, and Leona, sorry.
That's okay.
Who is in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Marianne Coy, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
Hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brayville, Mark Steinmetz as Vice Chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We've reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representatives swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Yep. Are both of you going to? Okay. The appellant will go first, present testimony, then be followed by the appraiser. Go ahead.
So my concern is that our property taxes or assessed value went up 110,000 over last year, and then the previous year it only went up 29,000, and then before that it actually went down 5,000. So, I mean, I understand that values increase, but I mean, 110,000 just seems a little steep. And then I was looking at a couple of our neighbors, and the 7572 Road E.3, their value only went up 35,000, and then 7684 Road E.3, their value actually went down by 21,000. So I was just thinking that the increases and decreases don't add up.
Okay. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Okay. This parcel was physically inspected September 1st of 2023. I did provide sales that support the value. The subject parcel last sold on August 17th of 2023 for $393,000 and is included in the sales study that was used to develop the market. So we just request that you sustain the current assessed value of $350,994, which is below what they purchased the parcel for.
Okay. Any rebuttal?
Well, and I also in a different area of the county, but in outside of Freda, I'm just using my brother's property as an example. They're at 2254 Northwest Road 11.7. Their assessed value is $250,000, and then in the beginning of 2023, there's property sold for $415,000, which is higher than ours. That we purchased for $393,000.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Question. Was this in reval this time? Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
because, yeah, it was physically inspected.
Jerry?
I have no questions.
This concludes the Grant County BOE hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of mailing the board order. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th. We are on the record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-096 for parcel number 30393-120294019, represented by Charles and Annette Ward, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Mariana Coy, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
Hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not to your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Breakbill, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, Jerry Gingrich as member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this property was physically inspected on 9/19 of 2023 as it was in reval. The appellant had, when he put in his petition, stated that there were several issues with the home, and I contacted him and did an interior inspection of June 11th of 2025. Following issues were original cabinets, drawers, hinges loose falling off, some holes in the sheetrock due to surround sound, some windows will need to be replaced, and a door did not seal. I talked to the owner about the condition of this because they purchased the property recently, and he said it was in the same condition as I was seeing it, but they did not notice all these things until after they moved in. I provided sales that are all in the subject's immediate neighborhood. Cells 1 and 3 are more similar square feet. And the subject parcel last sold April 30th of 2024 for $680,000 and is included in the sales that I provided. The appellant did not provide any sales. The assessor's office requests that you sustain the current assessed value of $659,059.
Yeah, no.
Did you take into account his complaints, his issues?
Yes, I told him before I came out, since he purchased the home like that just so recently, but I did document it in our system for future valuations.
All right.
Okay, this concludes the Grant County BOE hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-107 for parcel number 32813-121125513, represented by Nikolai and Victoria Podolian, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Mariana Coy, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the assessor's office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brinkell as chair, Mark Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Kingrich as a member. We reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you are about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this parcel was in reval and was physically inspected on 9/14 of 2023. No one was home at the time of the inspection, and I left a door tag on their door because there was an open permit for the new construction residence that was taken out in 2020. At the time of this inspection, the residence, we had it at 95% complete. I did not receive a call from the owners at that time. On January 17th of 2025, I received a call from the owner stating that the bonus area above the garage is not finished. I advised them that as the permit had been closed on our end, it was our office policy that we would have to conduct an interior inspection, which they declined. The appellant did provide 5 cells, but all these cells were located outside the subject neighborhood and could not be considered. The cells I did provide, no market adjustments were applied to the subject or the comparable cells. The improved assessed values is the cost to build. And I just wanted to make note that comparable one last sold on 5/30 of 2024 for $880,000. But I could not include it in this as it could not be considered due to the date of sale occurring after April 30th of 2024. Our office requests that you sustain the current assessed value of $820,234.
I do have a point of order for the clerk. Looking at the actual petition, they say they plan on attending.
Barb's note here was that they were not planning on attending. So I'm not sure if she had called them.
Okay,
and
I just,
said that
like I
they would
said,
not be.
because they checked, I'm not attending, then they lined it
Yeah.
out and checked, I am attending and initialed it. Barbara, question on this petition, they said they are planning on attending, and then you said they're not. Did you speak with them? Okay, I just want to make sure, so we don't have somebody walk in at 1 minute before. That's all I had, Mr. Chair.
Anything else?
Okay. This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. Board will review all information provided and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Good morning.
Wait a
Today
minute
is
now. Yeah, never-
Thursday, September 4th, 2025. We are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2024-128 for parcel number 69059-3102-16000, represented by Christy Coates, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Mariana Coy, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brinkell as chair, Mark Steinmetz as vice chair, Jerry Kingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any or additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. No appellant. Since there's no appellant, how about the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This parcel was in reval and was physically inspected on October 4th, 2023. In the petition, the appellant states that there's several issues with the residence, such as water damage, old windows, needs a new roof. These issues had been reflected in the low fair condition of the subject. I did not reach out and contact the appellant to do a physical interior inspection, as the residence is already valued at a low fair condition, and the appellant indicated in the petition that there not have been any changes to the residence. I did provide cells that are located in the immediate neighborhood. The cells provide a higher supported value than the subject's current assessed value. The appellant did provide 3 cells in the neighborhood, but they occurred between 2018 and 2021. The above cells utilized are more current and reflect the current market value. Our office requests that you sustain the current assessed value of $127,923.
Questions?
I have no questions.
Okay, this concludes the Grant County BOE hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and the board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-026 for parcel number 27562-111067007, represented by Paul Reardon, who is in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is also in attendance. Please silence your cell phones. Note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is myself, Jim Brakel as chair, Mark Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines, and please address the board only. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representatives swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The appellant will go first, present testimony, and be followed by the assessor. Go ahead.
Me first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I do not agree with the assessment that I was given from the assessor's office on the appraisal of my house. The houses that were used to determine my houses, these 3 addresses, the owners of these houses have all had houses that have been remodeled within the last 6 to 7 years. That means flooring, new appliances, new everything inside of these houses. And you can see the prices that they were listed for. I've gone to these houses and talked to these owners, so I know this. And because of that, I don't feel my house should be appraised at what it is, because my house has not been updated in almost 30 years. I don't have new appliances, new countertops, new of anything to show that my house is on par with what their houses were for the prices they got for them. As for my house being bought for the price that I paid for it, I come from a very special circumstances. When I was 8, I was abandoned by my parents at 8. And this family that owned this house at the time took me in, and I lived with them for 1.5 years. After that, I was moved into the foster care system until I was 18. But within the last couple of years, I've managed to get to a point where I can afford a house. And when I wanted a house, I was given the opportunity to buy this house that has great memories for me. My wife and family uprooted from where we lived in Puyallup to move here for this house so that I can reclaim something that I had lost. And yes, we paid an extraordinary amount of money for this house. The people that lived there didn't want to give it up, and I wanted the house, so I paid that much. And that wasn't the fair market value for the house, but it was what I was willing to pay. Just like anything in this world, if we took a VW Volkswagen that was beat up, when we say it's $1,000, and that's what we're gonna pay for. But if you take that same year BMW and you make it brand new again, you're not gonna get $1,000, you're gonna get $60,000 for that house. You're gonna get a lot more for it. And that's where my issue's coming in. My house appraises, even with my realtor saying if I were to walk out of this courtroom or this today, and it would go between $270,000 and $280,000. So when I first submitted my paperwork, all my documentation when I came to the courthouse, I said 275 was about average for my house, and I was told no. And I hope that's the reason. This is the reason why I'm here today. Is those are the reasons why. I don't know, I'm not sure if that's what you need to hear or not. So that's my testimony.
So on page 6, you will see the sales. As far as the appellant's point about that particular sale not being a fair market value, unless there's something that we can see on the real estate excise tax affidavit that says that this is an arm's length transaction, we have to consider that as an arm's length transaction. There was nothing on this particular sale that told us that it wasn't fair market value. Therefore, it was used as a market sale for our adjustments. And as you can see on page 6, the sales there, the fourth sale is of the subject property at $324,900. Therefore, we're asking the board to sustain our current assessed value at land $42,500, building $267,927 for a total assessed value of $310,427.
Any rebuttal?
I mean, I don't agree to that, but I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm not part of, I don't know what to say. I don't agree with what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but he's saying that my house is the highest price there out of every other house in that same category, but he's assessing my house at such a high price because of what I paid for it. And I didn't know there was some type of documentation that needed to be put in when I bought the house, unsight, unseen when I bought this house. I basically said I want the house to give me what I can get for it. So I believe, yes, I paid an extremely high price for the house, but out of my reasoning why, I do not feel that somebody else would walk into the same house that I'm currently living in and offer to pay $310,427 for my house. It just would not happen. And you can see by these other houses that obviously didn't sell near as close to my house.
I have nothing further now.
Right.
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-029 for parcel number 27567-111072000, represented by James and Judy Adair, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not to your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakehill as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep the timelines and please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
So this petition is for a 1,512 square foot single family residence and a 576 square foot farm implement building on a 6,924 square foot residential lot in Moses Lake, Washington. On page 6, you'll see the sales. These sales were used for adjustments of the market adjustments of the subject property. At the bottom there, you'll see the average adjusted value is at 215. Therefore, we're asking the board to sustain our current assessed value at $42,500 for the land, $138,568 for the building, for a total assessed value of $181,068.
I have no question.
I have one question. Maybe
Yes, sir.
if you can read the petitioner's, what was it, other issues relevant to your case. We think it's paint peeling, but we're not sure.
I believe that might be the case as well. I thought it was either panel or paint, so paint peeling may be an issue. And as far as that's concerned, we do have the condition of the subject at fair average. So general wear and tear of the property would be reflected in that.
Marge, did you have any?
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the order. We are in recess. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-027 for parcel number 30272-120242000, represented by 214 Cedars LLC, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Rebecca Nash, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners, excuse me, and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakefield as chair, Martin Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. No appellant. Does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The subject property was physically inspected on February 6th of 2024. No one was home at either side of the duplex at time of inspection. The subject parcel is a 21,500 square foot residential lot. The subject has a 1959 year built single-story duplex. On page 6, you will see the cells in the direct sales comparison grid that were used to develop the market adjustment for the subject parcel's neighborhood. In the effective age line of the sales comparison grid shows the deductions of the age difference between the subject property and the comparables, as the comparables were of a newer built with a newer effective age. On page 7, you will see where the cells are located within the subject parcel's neighborhood. On April 7th of 2025, around 11:30 a.m., a phone call was placed to the appellant to discuss the petition on the subject property, at which time there was no answer. Voicemail was left to direct the appellant to give me a call back. As of today, there has been no callback. The assessor's office asks to sustain the current assessed value of $337,050 for land, $151,912,000 for building, with a total assessed value of $188,962.
I have nothing. Good.
Rolling right into the next hearing. It is for petition number 2024-034, parcel number 49409-170303011, represented by Adam Jessup, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Rebecca Nash, who is in attendance. A reminder that you are still under oath for this hearing.
Just for clarity, we're on 31, correct?
031, yes.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
Oh, wait, I
Yeah,
have two different.
You said 34.
Did I say 34? Oops, my paper says 31. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, go ahead.
Righty. Subject property was physically inspected on January 30th of 2024. At time, I made contact with the female, at which time I left a card for the owner. No access was made to the rear of the single-family residence due to female stating there was a dog in the backyard. The subject parcel is a 22,651.2 square foot residential lot. The subject has a 1960 year built single-family residence with a 2014 year built farm implement building. I talked with the subject property owner on January 17th of 2025 at the front counter of the assessor's office. I offered to set up an appointment to come and reassess the property, at which time the owner stated that he would not be able to do so because of his work schedule. Again, on April 18th, 2025, I contacted the subject property owner to discuss his petition. I offered again to set up an appointment to come reassess the subject property, but the appellant states that there would be no way to get back into the yard due to the dog out back, and agreed that it would just be the same as the first time physically inspected. On page 8, you will see the sales that were used to develop the market adjustment for the subject property. The sales support a market value of $331,891 for the subject property. On page 9, you will see where the sales are located in the neighborhood. With that, the assessor's office asked to sustain the current assessed value of $37,050 for the land value, $276,364 for the building structure value, with a total assessed value of $313,414.
Mark?
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decisions, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. We are in recess.
I'm on point.
Okay. Good morning. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-188 for parcel number 30995-120683004. Represented by Jober LLC, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not to your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brinkle as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Niedrich as the member. We have reviewed all the evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the subject is a 5,000 square foot storage warehouse on an industrially zoned lot in Moses Lake. On page 6, you'll see the sales that were used for market adjustments of the subject. The subject did receive an upward adjustment. The appellant stated that the income approach of value should be considered in the valuation. I spoke to the appellant to get that income information. He did send me something, but what he had sent me was just a picture of a tax statement, but I wasn't able to read it. I responded with that I needed some better paperwork in order to do the income approach, and I have not heard back from the appellant since then. So I'm asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land, 64,468, building, 587,580, for a total assessed value of $652,048. That's all.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Your value for the land is 64,468. He's got the land at $100,000. Can you tell us if you can justify yours or both?
So without knowing where he came up with that value, I can, based on our land sales, since the appellant didn't question that we were high on our land, I did not include those on here. They're saying that it should be higher, where our land sales support the value that we have on the land. I don't know, without knowing where that figure came from, I can't say why they say the land is worth more, but according to what we have, the land is supported.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Mark? Okay.
We're gonna roll right into the next one?
Or you said they are separate, so we should probably.
Well, it's Michael Garland again. So I mean, if you want, we can either.
Or you could do 34 now, since they said they are not gonna attend.
Okay. Why don't we roll into 34 then?
And then put us right up at 12 o'clock for the 183. Just a thought.
Mr. Chair, is that what you'd like to do?
Sure, let's do
Go to 34?
34.
Okay, so hearing the next one is petition 2024-034 for parcel number 50218-170808006. Represented by Adam and Hillary Burns, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Reminder that you are under oath, sir.
Oh, not me? Okay. So the subject is a 3,096 square foot, two-story residence with a 384 square foot tool shed on a 4.02 acre lot in Moses Lake. On page 7, you will see the sales of like properties in that neighborhood. Based on those sales, we are asking the board to sustain our value at land 79,505, building 572,337, for a total assessed value of 651,842.
I have nothing.
Mark?
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. Sorry, next one's at 12. Okay. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the order. Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-183 for parcel number 24649-101465000, represented by Michael Garland, who is not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note that these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not to your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakewell as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please keep to the timelines and please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give the truth?
Yes.
You can go ahead.
All right. The subject is a 1,990 square foot, one-story, single-family residence with a 372 square foot tool shed on a 25,277 square foot residentially zoned waterfront lot in Moses Lake. The appellant has provided one sale that they find comparable. As you'll see on page 6, that sale is comparable one in my sales grid here. I apologize, the address is not on there. But that is the first sale in my grid there. As you can see, based on these two sales, the average is $579,792, which does support our value. The adjusted market value on comparable one is lower. However, you will notice that the amount of total adjustments there for sale 1 versus sale 2 is significant. Therefore, sale 2 does appear to be more comparable based on those adjustments. With that, we are asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land $128,340, building $435,293 for a total assessed value of $563,633. That's all.
Questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Okay, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and we're on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2024-117 for parcel number 22417-091510187, represented by Ronald Henke, who is in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Rebecca Nash, who is also in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners, trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is myself, Jim Brakewell as chair, Marge Steinmetz as vice chair, and Jerry Gingrich as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines and please address the board only, sir. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Sir?
I'm sorry, the question was?
Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Absolutely.
Okay. Since you're the appellant, you go first, and then the assessor goes after you.
That's an awkward way to do it. I like to respond to what they're saying, but really, it's just about the value, right? In fact, I was doing some work there. I rent the place now, but I was doing some work there, and my neighbor actually approached me, the guy right next door, and he said, "Did your property taxes go up a whole bunch this year?" And I go, "Well, yeah."
Once again, sir, I'm going to remind you, it's not the taxes or the assessed value, period.
Oh, the assessed value, yes. I'm sorry, I will try to focus.
Okay.
Let's see what we're using for a total value here. Gotta be. Usually I have an easier time finding the information. Yeah, it was mainly just the jump of, from the previous years to this year. That's the next one. No, I don't have that information for this one handy for myself. Should be on this paperwork, should it not? I might not find it. Does somebody have a copy of what the assessed value is?
Yeah, address the board only, sir.
Oh, could I get a copy of the assessed value? I don't seem to be able to locate mine. I don't know why. I have the information for the next one. Maybe it's right here. Do you happen to have a copy of that?
Do you have a copy that you could have or borrow? Or would you
Just
make
so
a
that I
copy
can
for
see
him?
the numbers again. I thought I had it.
Well, the value that was initially appealed, so you can go ahead and give him this. This is gonna be, that's the original assessed.
Okay. 256, and does it show the previous year?
It does not show the previous year.
Okay. Well, that was the main thing that caught my eye, and apparently my neighbor's eye, was the jump between the two. It made me think, when I read through this, that it says they do an assessment of the property each year. And so I immediately called and I said, you guys went and actually took a look at it last year, and you showed this much difference this year? It apparently, the answer I got was, the best I can recall, it's been a while, was the assessor himself has people who help him, that go out and look at the properties and assess it and gather information the best they can from sales in that area, et cetera. And the assessor himself only sees it, I don't know, every 3 to 5 years or something, I think it was. So that felt like wasn't truly accurate the way it was presented in the information I read, and it's probably here. So I questioned it immediately, and I went, why would it have jumped that much? I mean, it was like $50,000 or something. We don't have that information right now in front of us. Well, I don't. Anyway, so that's really was the bottom line to my my question. I'm sorry I'm not able to give you better information. You probably have that information in front of you, I would guess. The difference between last year's assessment, because that's what the taxes are based on, I would assume, and this year's assessment. So the discrepancy between those two just seemed so far apart that I was going to ask if we couldn't take another look at it. I know that I got a letter stating that somebody had actually gone and looked at it and even talked to my renter, if I recall correctly. They just basically said, well, that's what we've come up with from the market value. But I can tell you this. I don't remember exactly, and I don't have that paper in front of me, like I said. I don't know why. I thought I had it all gathered, but the next one we're going to be looking at, I assume, are we going back to back with these?
No. You're gonna do one, and then we'll do the other one next, but not
Together. No, I got you. But I was going to use a comparison here. What they used in this particular next case we're going to be looking at is a.
Again, we're not on that. We can't use that. You gotta use what we have here.
Okay.
So we only have what we have here.
Okay. My point is, they do base the values on sales in that area. Well, in this particular case, I know the area, Stratford itself, they're looking at Road 20, and I live downtown Stratford. Those properties aren't anywhere close to having the same values. It's like saying somebody on Nob Hill, their assessed value, since it's fairly close, within a mile or something, is the same as downtown anywhereville. I don't care where you go. It's almost always the people on the hill have, higher assessed values for the same, almost identical property, built the same year, same construction, et cetera, because the neighborhood is a nicer neighborhood. The people are maintain their properties better, probably. So I don't believe the assessed value was based on accurate comparisons.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got. You gave that back to you, did I not?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The subject property was physically inspected on February 29th of 2024. I did talk to the tenant at the time of the inspection, at which time I left the card for the owner. The subject parcel is a 13,366 square foot residential lot. The subject has a 1986 year built double wide manufactured home with a 2009 year built farm implement building. On page 9, you will see the sales comparison grid that we used. We only used 2 of the sales to come up with the value of this home. The sales support a market value of $254,929 for the subject parcel. Comparable number 1 is the newest sale closest to the current market value, but due to comparable number 1 being a larger square footage of double wide, larger square footage lot, more weight was placed onto the older comparable number 2, as it is closer to proximity to the subject parcel, as well as the same square footage of double wide and land, which resulted in lowering the recommended value to $223,390. On page 10, you'll see where the cells are located within the subject parcel's neighborhood. The assessor's office is asking to adjust the current assessed value to $25,000 for the land value, $198,390 for the building, for a total assessed value of $223,390.
Okay, any rebuttal?
No, I think that's probably good. Now that she's read through that again, and like I say, I knew that she had talked to somebody there because the tenant had mentioned it to me. That's probably okay. I mean, I'd be all right with that.
Okay, you wanna
Did I make that easy enough?
We'll move on to the second one. This next one is for petition number 2024-116 for parcel number 33335-121304006.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Ron
you.
Hickey.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Sorry.
Represented by Ron Hinkey, who is in attendance, and the assessor's office is represented by Darren Hine, who is also in attendance. Please silence your cell phone since we have a new appraiser here. The hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convening. The hearing is open.
I'm going to read this again. The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Again, a reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Again, the board consists of myself, Jim Brinkle as chair, Mark Sametz vice chair, Jerry Gingrich is a member. We've reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only again. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Again, being the appellant, you get to go first.
Awesome. I just love that. I think it's a good program that way. Well, here's the thing that caught my eye. This is what I was looking for on the other one. Is that, because I have other properties out there, and I know what their paperwork says on it is, the, is the right one? That's not the right one, but that's okay. It shows on the assessed values, or the property values, if you will, that the land for all of my other properties are, just a few other properties, a couple other properties I got, are, trying to find it again here. Apparently I wasn't as well prepared as I had thought. But they are, gosh darn it, I know I have that. Oh, that's Myron's. Dang it, I thought I was prepared from this. I'm gonna have to make up numbers because I don't seem to be able to locate the ones I was looking for. No. Anger, disappointing. It's gotta be right here, I'm just not seeing it. Should probably start wearing my glasses. Okay, so the assessed values are like $2,850 for the dirt, right? Because it talks about land value, improved value, and then total value, which makes perfectly good sense if it's done the way that I would think it should be done, which is the dirt on all the 50 by 100, little 50 by 100 lots out there is like $2,800 and something for most of them. And this one happened to have a 1 in front of it. So I immediately thought, well, they accidentally hit it was a typo. I mean, really, it's the exact same number with a 1 in front of it, no?
Address
So-
the board.
So, okay, if you're looking at the same information, it's the exact same number for the other parcels, only this one's got a 1 in front of it. So it's like 12,000 instead of 2,000. And like, that doesn't make sense. That should be, that can only, the land value can only change, the land value should not change.
Okay.
In my opinion. That's a correction I think should be implemented because the next section is improvements, right? I mean, that would include water, power, sewer, buildings, etc. That's improvements, correct? So it should be the same land value for ones right next to each other. There's 4 and then there's an alley and then there's 4 and they're all the same value at $2,800, except for this particular one is, well, and the bigger building, but nonetheless. So that is just crazy to have, what was explained to me wasn't you, it was a female voice, unless you have one of those as well.
Address the board, please.
Okay, I'm just a bad guy. That was explained to me because there was power available, well, to the building, obviously. And so that's what increased the land value. I don't know about you guys, but that makes no sense to me. Just because there's power accessible to there doesn't mean you've even used it or are using it. It shouldn't change the value of the dirt. It would change the value of the, what do they call it, improvements? That would be an improvement. Are we in agreement? That's an improvement. Bring power, improvement. Water, improvement, etc. Now the water comes from our well that is on a different property and it's just piped over. So that's not even really a value. If, you know, say my well goes down at my main house, they don't have their own. So that's not an improvement. It does have a septic on it in the dirt. Maybe that's the improvement. I don't know, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
So in my opinion, the value of the land should be exactly the same as the other 4, 8, 12, 6, 12, 15 properties out there. So that's my argument on this. I mean, I'm 10 grand off the right number.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, Sharon?
In reference, you guys have obviously reviewed everything. If you go to page 7 of my response at the bottom, it totally explains how the county-wide process is for improvements when it comes to utilities. Utilities are attached to land. There is a single-family residence, albeit small, at low quality, low condition, built in 1950.
No,
It's,
that's not correct either. Dad was born there.
Let him have his say.
Okay, that's right.
anyways, it is a single-family residence until proven otherwise. Therefore, whether it's a shared well or not, which is information that was not privy to, if this was not in physical inspection during this cycle, full utilities were already added the prior year, at least. I'm looking at the tax statement for the, excuse me, the change of value notice from what caused this petition. Land value has remained the same at $12,750. It's a $10,000 utility for full utilities in Stratford, in this 2-block area, which is 200 square feet or 200 linear feet by 570 linear feet. The appellant owns 4 properties within that very small block. Stratford's not very big. He has one unimproved property where the land value is at $2,750. It's within the same block of the subject property, but the subject property has a small single-family residence on it. Therefore, a $10,000 utility was attached to the land, and it was there the previous year. We haven't changed anything. The only thing that changed was a small market adjustment to the improvement based off of qualifying sales within the neighborhood.
Anything else? Okay, any rebuttal?
Yes. Number one, just to get it clear, Pops was born there. My dad, my father, he's 91. So the likelihood it was built in 50 isn't all that great. He was born in 34. So that's inaccurate. It may not even, who knows when it was built. I'm saying 20. Doesn't really matter. Nonetheless, also, he's correct. I was not in charge of looking at these values until this year. I have recently been given the opportunity to be able to pay the taxes and do all the other things that somebody else had been taking care of prior to that. So I wasn't writing the checks or paying the bills and all that sort of thing until just this year. That's the reason why it's come to my desk now. And so I'm starting to pay attention to some of this stuff and trying to figure out why hasn't it been addressed before would be my question. Kind of like the garbage was charging for that same building $20 to go around the block and pick it up. Well, we're working off a credit right now because I brought that to their attention. So I'm just trying to get things the way they should possibly have been prior, but the person who was taking on the responsibility had other tasks that apparently made it where they couldn't address some of this stuff the way I am.
Yeah, and the only thing I can add to that is that we're just asking the Board of Equalization to sustain our current values of $12,750 for the land, which includes the utilities. Structure at $30,988 for a total assessed value of $43,738.
May I have? Great.
Go ahead.
That to me, that just makes it more confusing. I mean, it must do it for everybody. I mean, why would you change the dirt value instead of using the utilities as part of the improved value? It just throws what we'd call crap in the game. It just confuses things, muddies the water by changing the assessed value of the dirt, or not the assessed value, but the actual value of the dirt from 2,700, I think is what we're looking at, 2,750,
Yeah.
to 12,750. Again, it looks like a typo to me. It's weird. So why doesn't that just get pushed over to the improvement side?
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
If it's the same way for the whole county, how does it get changed for you?
Somebody has to, there's always got to be somebody who is the driving force behind change, correct?
Okay.
I guess I'm the one.
Alright.
Is that fair?
Anything
you.
else?
That's it.
Anything? All right.
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all information provided, and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.